Is your phone a viable device for making videos? If you don't hold it just right, it's going to look like it was filmed on a potato. Today I'm going to look at 4 options to help you get the most out of your camera phone. Smartphones these days have really good cameras. They're generally HD, they have a great depth of field, and they're really sharp. You can also put up the frame rate quite high to get those awesome slow-mo images. The trouble is, the way they're held by most people, it looks very wobbly and shaky, and it ruins the entire thing. There are options to accentuate the experience you have filming with your smartphone. We're going to look at 4 options today. One is very cheap, the other ones go up to more expensive, and one was even from Kickstarter. Let's start with the cheapest one. This is a monocular, which of course is like a binocular, but with only one lens. It's got a little holder on the back for your phone, and it promises a great deal of zoom. Next up, we have the humble Selfie Stick. This one is also very affordable, and it has a detachable Bluetooth remote, so you can start and stop your videos. Next up, we have this gimbal. This is just like what you'll find on the front of a drone. This one from Tech has a bit of a price jump, but as you'll see, it's quite a sophisticated product. It can get results that you just won't get holding your smartphone with your hand. Our final one is the Wiral Lite, and I backed this on Kickstarter and it came a couple of months ago. I'm going to show you how this one goes as well, but that's later on. For now, we're going to start with the cheapest one, which is the Monocular. This Monocular comes with a carry case, a phone mount, and a screw-in tripod. Its usage is pretty simple. You attach your phone in the phone mount. Probably the trickiest part is getting the lens aligned right in the middle. The tripod features 3 flexible feet with rubber ends, and it screws in just like any other tripod mount would. The phone mount is simply a press fit onto the end of the Monocular, and we're ready to use it. The last thing we need to pay attention to is the focusing knob. As you can see, you're going to be restricted in what you record by having a ring in the middle and a black box around all of the rest. It does work fairly well, however, as evidenced by this shot when I took it to the beach. Our testing object is that island way out in the middle of the sea. Can't see it? Well, it's pretty tiny when looking through the phone normally. When we look through the Monocular, however, we can see it's magnified a great deal, and if we get it in focus, we can even see some details on the rocks of the island. This is not without issues, however. Image quality deteriorates rapidly away from the center. Not for everyone, I know, but it's pretty cheap as far as novelties go, and as a bonus, you can use it without your smartphone as a regular monocular. Next, let's look at the Selfie Stick, and they're not as useless as you might think. In fact, I'm filming with it right now. This Selfie Stick is by Xiaomi, and it's a pretty simple and compact object. Using a telescopic mechanism, it can extend and retract, and it has a removable Bluetooth little shutter button to start and stop your videos, as well as taking still images. The base also splays out to become a tripod, making this thing more versatile and probably twice as useful. It can swivel to cater for portrait as well as landscape mode, and it can turn around to the front and back. It's quite a strong spring that holds in the phone, and I certainly had no fears that the phone was going to fall out and get damaged. The Bluetooth remote I only ever had to pair once. You long press to turn it on, same for turning it off, and when you turn it on it seems to remember, reconnect to the phone, ready for action. Next up, we're going to take a closer look at this gimbal. It's like the Selfie Stick except much more sophisticated. Let's check it out. This is the SPG2 from Tech, and it's really nicely packaged. After you remove the cardboard and check out the manual, you'll see that the actual gimbal, battery and tripod base are mounted in this really nice reusable foam case. The battery is a rechargeable LiPo, and the capacity seems to be outstanding. In my experimentation, I haven't gotten anywhere near it becoming flat. The tripod mount goes on the bottom. I like to put it on whether I'm using it or not, and once again the grip for the phone is very tight. I feel like there's no chance at all of it coming loose. I'm demonstrating here with the Tech app, and as you can see there's a myriad of controls built in to manually control the gimbal. There's also a series of tracking modes which I don't have time to cover in this video, but I'll link in the description to their instructional video that explains it in far more detail. If you haven't seen a gimbal in action before, its job is to counteract your movements to keep the video as smooth as possible. This is what you use on the front of a drone, and this one, like those, works extremely well. Now the gimbal and the Selfie Stick are fairly similar products, so I'm going to compare them back to back. And don't worry, you can use them for a lot more than just duck face selfies. To give them a good workout, I took them away with me on holidays. Now, I'm not a vlogger, but if I was, it might look a little bit something like this. This, of course, is with the Selfie Stick, so you can see a lot of vibration, and there is a better option. Now we switch to the gimbal, and you should see it's a lot smoother. I really need a haircut. That's better. That's my attempt at a vlogger's transition. Pretty embarrassing for me. In fact, I'm pretty embarrassed doing this out in public, so I'm gonna get out of here. You can put your phone in the selfie stick, but as you can see here, it's going to be full of vibrations, and that's where the gimbal comes in. It's going to smooth everything out. You will still see some slight jostling from the walking motion, but generally it's going to be a lot more attractive. Anytime you track an object, it's automatically going to look cinematic. Even a simple pan looks great as if it was done on a tripod and comes out really smooth. The good thing about a gimbal is it smooths everything out and builds a sense of adventure, but it's also great for fast moving action. In this instance, when filming my electric go-kart, it smoothed out all of the fast motion beautifully. It even did a fantastic job as I held it in one hand while I was driving with the other. In fact, despite being smooth, gimbals make excellent action sequences. Just check out this dramatic chicken cam footage. The difference between this and holding a phone with your hand is night and day. The selfie stick is simple, but it's also cheap, and I think it's probably handy to have in the bottom of your bag in case you ever need a tripod, like I'm using it now. The gimbal I see as a pretty good product, and I'm happy to have one to take with me to events that I might cover in future, or any vlogs that I might eventually make. Both of these, however, are pretty established technology, so let's look at something completely different, which is the Wiral Lite that I backed on Kickstarter. This product, like most Kickstarters, ran fairly late, but I didn't mind because most of the problems I had were with quality control, and the final result seems to be really well made. This thing is essentially a flying fox for cameras, and here's the main part, the motorized mount, and it's controlled wirelessly. To keep with the theme of this video, I'm installing the optional smartphone mount, which I'm going to attach to the bottom because it's just a tripod adapter. In fact, it also comes with a GoPro mount, but you could use any camera you like that has a tripod thread. You need something hefty on either end of your line, and the mechanism for unwinding and tensioning is really clever. Like a 3D printer, it also comes with end stops that go either end. The remote is wireless with good range, and its main dial on the top controls the motor speed forward and backwards. The two buttons in the center are for setting the end stops, and then there's 3 modes: slow, sport, and time lapse, which I've yet to try. Let's fast forward a little bit to see how packup works. It's got a nice mechanism to wind everything up, lock it in place, and store it tangle-free until next time. Now, as you can see, I got the normal 50-meter one in yellow as well as a 100-meter one in black, offering me more versatility. Anyway, it works pretty much like a cable cam, with you putting this main module on top, and then you can attach any camera you want to the bottom because it's got a standard tripod mount. Rather than describe how it works, it's probably just easier to show you the footage. As I mentioned, there are 3 modes, and this is the first, slow mode, illustrating just how much my lawn needs mowing. This is the second mode, which is obviously much faster and intended for capturing quick footage. I used it recently in my electric cart video, although the line length was a little bit short for this to be able to track the cart smoothly. Even so, these are unique shots that I couldn't have got any other way. Now, to test this thing out properly, I took out the 100-meter black line into the bush and set up the longest one I could between 2 trees. It took at least half an hour to hook it on one end, walk through the trees, hook it on the other end, and tension it. Eventually, it was ready to go. The $1,000,000 question is, why would you use this instead of a drone? And the main advantage is you can run it right up close to trees, children, pets, without endangering them and without endangering your equipment. I think you can get some pretty unique shots with this thing, and the demo reel they have on their website certainly shows it off better than I have today. Well, that's going to wrap this one up. Every now and again, I like to do something different besides 3D printing because I'm trying to expand my technology horizons as much as I can. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy filmmaking. G'day, it's Michael again. If you liked the video, then please click like. If you want to see more content like this in future, click subscribe and make sure you click on the bell to receive every notification. If you really want to support the channel and see exclusive content, become a patron. Visit my Patreon page. See you next time.